Editor-in-Chief is live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Editor-in-Chief is live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, welcome to the program. September the 16th, you're with the Editor-in-Chief live with Lester's Oil, your multi-ingredient omega-3 healthy aging supplement backed by thousands of satisfied customers. And get the benefits of 6 supplements in one capsule to support joint, heart and brain health. Take as directed, read the label. About Health Auckland. G'day folks, I'm Duncan Garner. Welcome to the program. Good to have you along this morning. Irlene Mokaraka was a manager at Foodtsuffs, 3 years in the job, loved it, was the main income earner, mother of 6, who told her immediate boss she felt bullied by her. In the end, what happened next? She's out of a job. A 9-month-old issue that she thought had been cleared up has been dragged up when she wrongly used the fuel card last Christmas, so she's out. David and Goliath, Irlene wants to speak out today, so this happens to no one else, and we'll also have a chat to Johnny Day shortly. The Kiwi woman went down to England, but his beloved Tasman came home, so no troubles there for him. Flick me your comments. It's news time. Here's Lucy Walker. Good morning.
A gunman reportedly fired shots at a Palm Beach golf course while Donald Trump was playing around. The suspicious individual was spotted in a tree line. Law enforcement expert John Miller says Trump is safe.
The Secret Service returned fire at that gunman who fled. Sources say they recovered a backpack, an AK-47, and a GoPro camera.
A man was later arrested. A new approach has seen a big drop in crime in Auckland CBD. Police Minister Mark Mitchell says it's been a multi-agency approach with new beat police walking the streets.
Probably if you compare someone arriving in Auckland now to what it was 12 months ago, they're going to have a better experience. But we know we've still got a lot of work to do.
A black and white trivia night has thrust the Mata Mata RSA into the limelight for the wrong reasons. One person showed up in fancy dress and blackface, sparking a fierce debate online. Some called it shameful and racist, while others said there was nothing wrong with it. Organisers of the event have defended it, calling it a wonderful night. The RSA's head office is now under pressure to clarify its position. The number of New Zealanders affected by respiratory issues is up. New Asthma and Respiratory Foundation figures show 1 in 5 Kiwis are impacted. 2 years ago, it was 1 in 7. Chief Executive Letitia Harding thinks the increase is due to more accurate reporting and diagnosing.
And that's actually a good thing because it means they can get put onto the medication that's most suitable for them a lot quicker, which is great.
The Trans-Tasman competition between Jetstar and Air New Zealand is heating up. The low-cost carrier has announced new services from Hamilton to the Gold Coast and Sydney. It'll also fly from Dunedin to the Gold Coast. The new routes will take off from June next year. A British woman sitting on the toilet got the shock of her life when she discovered a huge rat staring up at her. The rodent had climbed up her drains and was hiding in the bottom of her loo. To sport and to Formula One.
The Oscar goes to the top step of the podium. Oscar Piastri wins.
The 23-year-old Australian driver winning the Azerbaijan Grand Prix as McLaren pass Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. In Rugby League, Manly have pipped the Bulldogs 24-22 in the NRL Finals and will face the Roosters next. Arsenal's beaten Tottenham 1-0 in football's Premier League, while Newcastle came back to beat Wolves 2-1. And Tasman are the only unbeaten team after 6 weeks of rugby's NPC. They defended the Ranfurly Shield 28-15 in Blenheim yesterday against Wellington. Auckland get the next crack at the Logger Wood in just over a fortnight. And that's news and sport.
Thank you, Lucy. The rat up the drain pipe. It worries me. So she's sitting there. Mm-hmm. And it happens like I think it happens. The rat comes up the...
It's a really large rat, and there's actually a photo of it with its face and little paws like this.
No. I've heard of snakes at the toilet, though.
Yes, yeah. I'm glad we don't have that here.
Yeah,
in
no.
New Zealand.
But the rat, I can't stand rats. What would you do? You slam the...
Yes, well, I mean, I didn't add it to the story, but... But the rat died.
Oh, the rat died. Yes, I'm sure it did. Okay, thank you, Lucy.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, so Irlene Mokaraka loved her job at Foodtsuffs. She was in charge of 8 people, but today she'll be given the pink slip and told don't come Tuesday. This is overwhelming for her. Foodtsuffs, where she's worked as a supervisor or manager for 3 years, has recommended she lose her job. Why? Because she had a frank exchange with her new boss and felt bullied and said so. So they've dug up an old issue when she wrongly used the fuel card last Christmas and fired her on the spot. This is a case of blatant wrongful dismissal. She's a proud woman, mother to 6. They own their own 2-bedroom home and they could lose it because of one woman's vendetta against her. So she wants to speak out today and is joining us. G'day, good morning, nice to have you on the program. Thank you. Just come forward to the mic a little bit. Take us all the way back. You must have been shocked last, or was it Friday, when you got the news?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I felt... I saw it coming. Just by the way that I was being, I guess, treated throughout the whole process. And going back to June 2024, when I received the letter from HR to raise the concerns. Every step, every response that I gave, I've always stood my ground. I've always said that this isn't right, that you're accusing me of doing things that I haven't deliberately done. I mean, we're all busy, you know. We all do things in autopilot. Like it was just crazy. And I kept trying to go back to them and going, this is not right. And I just provide them all the support, everything in writing. So it wasn't even hearsay. I was giving them things in writing.
I saw your letter. It was a really detailed response and fair. It was balanced. It was gentle. And then your supervisor came back to you and said, yeah, we can sort this out, no problems. But that looks like it's two-faced to me because... behind your back, they've gone out there and dug something up and said, right, you're gone.
Yeah.
How did the petrol thing work? You got a company car, have you?
Yeah. So I've actually had that car since June 2022.
Mm-hmm.
It was a car that was given to my team with a special trial arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
It was signed off as a trial arrangement to be reviewed 6 months after that. HR signed it off. My manager at the time signed it off. Facilities who manage the cars signed it off. It's all in an email.
Right, and so you put a couple $100 of gas into it?
Yeah.
When you're on leave?
Like 2 years later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know? Because you're okay.
I mean, you know, you're in autopilot. I've had it for 2 years.
So because you accused your immediate boss of bullying or potentially bullying you, they went back and dug this up, did they?
I feel like that's where this has come from.
Yeah.
It just seems unusual.
You're a manager yourself. You've got 8 people under you and you love your job?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I love working for Foodies. It's a great company. Got a great team culture. I mean, when I think about if this was something that was given to me for one of my team, I trust my team. And I'd absolutely go, no, this doesn't seem right. Like, they're a good worker. I've never had any behavioural issues. They're a high performer. Let's talk about it. And I'd sit down with them and talk to them.
And you had no warnings? You didn't get a first warning, second warning?
No.
You see, the employment law is pretty... Yeah, and they can immediately dismiss someone for, a bad health and safety breach or something reckless, but... This doesn't appear to be that fair or that reckless to me. You have fought your case? I mean, you're speaking out today. Why?
Because it's not fair. Because there would be other people that would probably go through very similar issues that just wouldn't have the courage or feel safe to do what I'm doing right now, or be brave enough to do what I'm doing.
Because you're a trusted employee. I mean, you're a mother of 6. You're responsible. You own your own home. All these sorts of things. Are you worried about your home? Worried about your job?
100%. That's the one thing. And I actually, throughout this process, I escalated my concerns to head of HR and to the GM of People and Capability. And I said, look, I'm not expecting a response here, but I need you to hear my story. I feel like the way this is being handled is really heavy-handed. I own the things that, that I will own, like the petrol, right? Yeah. I'll pay the $264.
Yeah.
But how this is impacting me, I'm now thinking about, I'm going to lose my job. How am I going to pay for my mortgage? How am I going to, support my kids? I'm the breadwinner. My husband works in the warehouse, so just everything, like everything's on me. Financial impact is going to be huge.
I would have thought that it seems so extreme. It just seems so immediate. When I got your letter on Friday, it just and you were speaking out about it. It just seemed to be so extreme for the offence, if you can even call it that. I reckon I've seen your letters. I've seen the paperwork. The letter that you send your immediate boss, where you say you're not feeling great about the job because you feel like she's coming in heavy-handed over you. Yep. I think she's taken exception to you saying that.
I think so too. I mean, look, who's going to like that? Who's going to be okay after being, called out for things that were said below the line?
Well, it looks like you were right, though.
Yeah.
Because look at the reaction. And I saw her response to you, which was, we can work through this together. We'll get to a good outcome. No problems. I support you. You support me. That's fine. So it was almost duplicitous in many ways. Yeah. So what do you do this morning then? Do you have to go to work?
Nah, probably not. I'm waiting for the letter to come through from them to, I guess, confirm what's going to happen. And I don't even know what happens from there. I don't know what the process is.
It's David and Goliath, isn't it?
Yeah.
What did you do there? What was your job?
Program and Development Manager in retail operations and transformation in the membership and property team.
And what does that mean?
So I have a team that sort of have varied responsibilities. I have a learning and development team. I have a development team, mobility development team.
Yep.
I have a team that governs all the new stores that get opened throughout North Island.
Yes.
And then I have a project coordinator that looks after all, I guess, tracking all the projects within the team.
It's pretty detailed, isn't it? It's pretty full on job.
Yeah. It's full on.
Yeah. And what have you done previously? Because I saw it in one of your letters about some of the stuff that you've done, which is pretty technical and pretty detailed, isn't it?
So I've worked with a lot of systems, process improvement. However, I did come from working in the media before this.
Oh, right.
And that's only because I moved back here from Australia.
Right.
And I had an opportunity to do that while I settled in. Right. But because COVID hit, I was contracting. I thought, let's go find a job that's going to be, a bit more stable.
Yes.
Same thing with my husband. He was a chef at the time, and all restaurants closed down.
Yeah.
So then I got, we were like, okay, maybe he can go in the warehouse.
So you were a valued employee at Foodtsuffs. You were probably paid well for the role that you were doing, and it was a reasonably successful role because you had 8 people below you. Yeah. So you were a manager yourself.
Yeah. And then the other thing that has probably not been considered as part of this is that the investigation period goes from October 2023 to June 2024. From August 2023 to December 2023, I was in an acting head of operations role, which is my leader's role right now.
Oh, right, you had your job.
Yeah, which is much more responsibility, much more demand. I was working much longer hours. I was working weekends.
You've done all that stuff, and they've been happy. You've never had a complaint against you?
Oh, no.
There's never been any disciplinary action?
No, I've actually received awards, like people awards, from the teams. I actually got the Courage, one of the values for Foodtsuffs is the Courage Award, and I received that in March.
So what do you put this down to then?
It feels personal because I've called her out. It really does. It feels personal. She said it's not personal. And on the Thursday when I went into my final hui with her and HR, after all the formalities were done, I just said, look, can I address you? And that was yes. And I said, all of that aside, do you really, really, truly believe, you know me, that I've done this deliberately, that I've done things intentionally? And then she burst out crying, saying, that's not fair. I'm just following process. You're a leader, Irlene, as well. Yeah. And to me, that said a lot to me.
I spoke to, on Saturday night, I was with a number of managers, CEOs at this function, and I actually ran your case by them. And a number of them just said to me, if you're a valued employee, which you are, you just pay it back. You might be an admin fee, and then you just get not even a warning, but just a reminder. Hey, this is the processes. Or they cut the card off, during certain times. But you've used it once, $260. the guys that I spoke to on Saturday night said no, they wouldn't ever. They'd keep you on.
Yeah.
They wouldn't sack you. Do you know of anyone else in the organisation that's been sacked for this sort of thing?
I do know of people that have gone through similar circumstances, and actually since I posted this on Friday, I've had a couple of people reach out to go, I used to work for Foodtsuffs. I went through
the same sort
similar thing.
Oh, really? Yeah. So they're pretty adamant. Okay. Well, yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Just that, if you're going through things like this, I know it's hard, but just be brave. Have the courage to speak up. And I know that there's sacrifices that might need to be made. For me, people are saying, I feel like you've become a sacrifice, Irlene, so that other people don't have to go through this. Don't let organisations get away with this. It's not fair.
Would you like to save your job, or is it not somewhere you want to work now?
No, it'd just be too hard after this. It would just be really hard to build that trust again, to repair that relationship within that. And I just think it would just be, it would just be weigh heavy on me.
Do you feel disappointed?
Oh, 100%, because I've loved my job. I love my team. I love it's been a great working journey right up until this point.
Yeah. Your husband, you said, works there as well. You have other family members there?
Yeah, my brother-in-law.
Okay, well, are they going to be all right? They have to be, don't they?
This has got nothing to do with them and what they're doing and their jobs.
Right.
I mean, that's how I think. I don't know.
Well, they can't get rid of those guys because they're...
Just because I'm married to you or I'm related to you.
Yeah. Hey, all the best. I think you'll get job offers pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You seem really competent and smart and
I
honest
so.
as well.
I know.
And honest as well. Thanks for coming and sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish you all the best. Keep in touch with us.
Yeah, no worries. And any employment lawyers out there, please help me out. Help sister out.
If you are in this business and you can get hold of me, it's Duncan at rover.nz. I can pass it on. Okay. If you can just make your way out when you're done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, good morning to you. What do you think of that? You send me your feedback, Duncan at rover.nz, or you can send it, just all the links there. They're all there, all the stuff's there. And I'm going to cut straight to Johnny Day, I think, because he's in the chair. He's walked on in, and we'll talk sport from the Sporting Rumble, MediaWorks News. It's Johnny Day.
Yeah.
How's things, mate?
Happiest Sunday of my life, Duncan.
I can see you
Happiest
smiling.
Sunday of my life.
You're smiling at your back as well.
Yeah, so pacing around the house all yesterday morning thinking, geez, big day for Tasman, big day for Manly, my two favourite
I know,
teams.
they both come home.
And they did, and yep, the beers tasted sweeter as the hours passed and just had a ripper of a Sunday. So,
What about, aren't you having a new baby? Aren't you meant to be doing sort of...
yeah, no, so I did all the night feeds on the Saturday night.
I bet you did.
When my missus went out because I knew Sunday was my day. So got that all out of the way and just... absolutely loved it. Blenheim, well done. All turned out for the Shield. Sold out Lansdowne Park.
I love it. They love the Shield. They love it.
They do.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They want
and
it, yeah.
this means Nelson now gets to host a game in just over 2 weeks, a Wednesday night against Auckland, who had a tight win over Northland yesterday.
They look average though, don't they, Auckland?
What's that?
They look a bit average though, don't they?
They do this year.
Yeah.
Something's not quite right with Auckland, but
all these brilliant players at schoolboy level in the NBC team.
yeah,
Terrible.
they'll be dangerous, though. They always are. You know, they're the big city boys, but just cool to see the Shield in small town New Zealand. I'm sure the people of Blenheim won't mind me calling them a small town, but that was awesome. And then Manly, after that, doing the job on the Bulldogs late. So
What was that score in the end?
24-22. Yeah. Tolu Kola, who's a centre for the Sea Eagles, scored a try with 8 minutes to go. That is one of the best tries of the season. So that was a ripper. So I had a great day on Sunday,
you did.
but I did wake up for a night feed at 2 a.m. and watch the Black Ferns get obliterated in the first half against England. And this is a concern for our world champions. They play, they've got a lot of work to do. I mean, never write them off, right? We've always got the talent, but when you play a fully professional side like England, who get to play in the Six Nations and get quality games all the time, it's tough to turn up there with 6 weeks of no games.
I know.
And try and beat them in Twickenham.
It's almost we need to be based in Europe. Because
I
down here
agree.
we have Australia.
Who suck.
Yeah, they suck. We played Canada and lost to them, but we don't see them much.
No, we don't.
We don't even want to play.
No, we don't. And so we need to somehow weasel our way into the Six Nations. I'm not sure how we do that, but we need regular games against the best in the world because, especially in the forwards, I don't know. It's tough because you should be allowed to let your women live and play and train in New Zealand, right? to do it.
Yeah,
but
look where we are. We're down the bottom of the
so at
globe,
least we're
aren't we?
lucky these days because they've started this WXV tournament, which started last year. So we do get to play the top 5 teams in the world every year now. But it's just the build-up to that we don't get. So in 2 weeks' time, we will go to Canada and we'll play Ireland, we'll play England again, and we'll play France.
We might be good on the tournament process then,
which is good, as the weeks go on. So they're trying to replicate the World Cup here by going away for 6 weeks, playing some tough opposition, but 17-0 down at half-time. The writing was on the wall.
It's over. And they fought hard, actually.
Oh, we did, and a couple of good tries to Vahakolo, who's a good winger. 24-12 in the end, but we're a long way away, especially when it comes to forward play and stopping their line-out drive, which is impossible, and just field position seems to be a problem for us. We can't clear out of our own half.
See, so what you're saying is that we haven't kicked on from the World Cup victory, and they have, and that's a real worry because you would have wanted women's rugby to develop even further, and we've actually probably, if not, I think we're putting on backwards maybe.
We have gone backwards because I think in our last 6 games we've lost 3 of them, including one to Canada for the first time ever. We lost to France and England at the end of last year. Now England again. So Alan Bunting's got a lot of questions he needs to answer, and there's a guy at New Zealand Rugby called Wayne Smith who's got a mentor role.
Yes.
He mentors the coaches.
Yes.
He's the guy who won the World Cup for them. If I'm Alan Bunting, I'm having a long call with the professor.
New Zealand Rugby, I'll say this again shortly, but New Zealand Rugby's, used to be at the top of the game. It's now just another nation.
Yeah, and men's and women's.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, the only team we have kicking ass consistently is the Blackfern Sevens.
Yeah, what else we got?
Formula One overnight, that's interesting. McLaren are now leading the Constructors' Championship, which if you said at the start of the year, exactly, cheers Bruce. If you said that at the start of the year, you'd get laughed out of the room because they were last last year, but they got Oscar Piastri as this young Aussie driver, and they got Lando Norris, who's closing in on Max Verstappen for the championship. So great work from them.
It's good to see a bit of competition
in Azerbaijan, absolutely. And the IndyCar series finale on right now. Will Power had a seatbelt issue, so he's not going to win it. Alex Palou's going to win it instead of the Aussie. So what a way to go, eh? Your seatbelt not working properly.
Are you on? Not good. Are you on night duty tonight as well?
I probably should be, but I might keep on celebrating.
Good on you, mate. Hey, well done, Johnny. Good stuff, mate.
Duncan Garner, live.
All right, I want to do some 3 questions.
3 questions from the Editor-in-Chief. 1.
At number 1 today, can you sack someone for misusing a work petrol card? Sure, if it's a repeat offence, they constantly do it, and they don't do anything about the warnings, then it's most likely. But I've spoken to a number of CEOs over the weekend who couldn't believe the circumstances, and they told me when staff at their work had done this, the rules were laid out, they paid it back, including in some instances an admin fee. When someone does a good job and is valuable to the company, the last thing the company wants is to lose them over a couple of $100 of gas, so they sort it. At number 2, ready for another foreshore and seabed debate and scrap and possible protests? Watch this space. The government is redefining the law, narrowing it significantly so any Māori claim over the beaches has to jump over new and higher hurdles. The Māori Party is promising a fierce reaction, and given they're now being paid to be professional protesters and shit stirrers, expect quite the reaction. The truth is, Luxon could have avoided this all along.
3.
Number 3, are we the best at rugby as a nation? Sadly, no, we're not. I think it's now a given that South Africa, for the men, England for the women, are both superior sides. We've dropped down the pecking order. Some of our best players play overseas, and we can't pick them, unlike South Africa, who do. So I think it's time to loosen our rules, otherwise we will continue to be absolutely spanked, in my view.
Duncan Garner, live.
Yeah, can you see the feedback coming in, Isaac? What are they saying about Irene's case? Just whack on the mic there, mate.
Every time.
Yeah, I know. We'll get there.
Lots of support, which is great to see.
Yeah.
What have we got here? MB says she was lovely. I'm sure she'll get better opportunities, which I agree with. I think at this rate, it'd be worth her moving on and finding something better.
She's a real pro. I've seen the letters that she wrote the company.
That's good.
She's really... She reaches out, wants to make everything right and everything, and they just... no.
Because it would be very easy, I was saying to her when we were walking out, it would be very easy for someone in her position to just, kick up a massive fuss, come on the show and yell and scream and,
No, she's reasonable.
Being very, very diplomatic, very professional, and that's a very good value to have.
She went on leave and used the company card, to put gas into the company car. This happens. He will not be the first person in the world to be doing that.
I think the way that it's usually done is that if you're with a company car, the company usually supplies fuel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the whole point of a company car is you're getting your logo out and about on the streets. Essentially, while an employee is in a company car, whether they're on the clock or not, they are essentially working because they're representing your brand.
It just seems David and Goliath, right? Over the top.
Yeah,
really over the top. All right, good stuff. It's for the Slam Dunk.
It's the Slam Dunk.
Right, these people are the most forgotten people. They are roundly abused, sometimes attacked, sometimes spat at, and more often than not, they're so often told they're a pack of wankers. It has to be one of the most thankless, unpaid volunteer roles in life. I'm talking about referees. And the reason I am is because I hosted their awards night for the Auckland Rugby Referees Association on Saturday night, and I've come away with I can't believe I'm saying this, a new appreciation for what they do and how hard they work to become better referees. Can you believe I'm saying this? I was one of those mouthiest halfbacks in the game. Anyway, I've given plenty of refs all sorts of shit over the years, and I felt slightly bad on Saturday, but not bad enough to say sorry yet. For a start, imagine it, being a ref. No thank you, not with rugby, so many rules. But we need them, right? And these guys take it pretty seriously. But they're also pretty good at laughing about it amongst themselves, and despite thinking that they were humorless, and they're sort of humorous sods, they're not actually. They're only too willing to laugh at themselves, and they've got plenty to laugh at. Remember, they're volunteers. It's all unpaid. And seeing the wives and husbands there on Saturday night, it was clear to me that they spend a heap of time away from home because they love doing rugby a service. They need more refs. We need more refs. There's a chronic shortage. Without them, what have we got? A coach refereeing the game? It's not ideal, is it? And behind the ref, I never knew this, are teams and teams of helpers and referee coaches trying to make them better and scoring them in all sorts of aspects of the game and constantly working with them to improve their game. I never knew the hordes of people behind the scenes. I never knew they had so much effort being put into it. Hours and hours of slog is put into it. And I think the great unwashed need to know this. I certainly had no idea. They're not highly thought of, our referees. As I said, they can't really win it all, can they? And before the event, I asked a group of 15-year-old boys who all play rugby to give me a word each to describe the referees. This is what I got from them. Okay, tossers, wankers, pedos, racists, losers, blind, cheats, unfit, old, and that women refs are better than the men. That was a rolling sample of what some 15-year-olds said, which was probably slightly disrespectful, isn't it? And when you look at it, it's pretty cruel as well. And to their credit, the refs, who are mainly lawyers, teachers and cops, took all that in their stride when I mentioned that. Every now and then, stop to say thanks to the ref. They put in countless hours. Some really need to, but overall these refs were good company, not like I'd imagine. It's clear they're in it for keeps, these guys, and they love the game. And to an extent, they're pretty fond of the people that boss around the park as well. Rugby is a professional game now, and I reckon our refs who do it for free deserve a small payment each weekend just to at least cover their costs. The leagueies do it, so why is rugby so different? Why should we expect people to every weekend do something for free and in fact be out of pocket? Surely the gesture in all this is what counts.
Duncan Garner, live.
Yeah, you ever played sport and deal with referees, Isaac?
Oh yeah, plenty. You know, the occasion. The Saturday low division football.
Yeah,
very classic
but
space.
Someone's got to be a referee, right?
Yeah, someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to be a referee.
And I've done it before as well, in a couple of situations. Never like high level, never in any sort of professional means by any means. But on the Saturday pitch for refereeing, boys a couple of years older than me and stuff like that, and it can get intimidating.
God, we had a referee that turned into a coach. We were in the under 14s. I was North Harbour under 13s. My mate was under 14s captain. Yeah. He took us to Kiwi. His name was Timmins. We called him Timmins. Was his name. Went from refereeing to coaching. We ended up at Kiwi, and the local players bought weed in.
Oh yeah,
marijuana. So everyone's smoking marijuana at 14 at the local hall in the blue light disco, and he was sacked. He got 2 games. He was sacked. His coaching career. He had to go back to refereeing.
It's a lot of pressure on those people, eh?
Oh, shit, yeah, poor guy. I mean, it was rough in those days too. The under 14s, they were sort of all bogans and full on anyway. Hey, that's us, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief, live with Lester's Oil, the premium New Zealand-made fish oil supplement backed by a study. Support joint, heart and brain health. Use code Duncan for 10% off. Abouthealth.co.nz. Take as directed. Read the label. About Health Auckland. If you call 0800 999 309, then we will give you 10% off. You can call that number right now. There's people there from About Health. Good people, great staff, know their stuff, and they'll help you out. And an announcement. We're going to the evenings. We're going to give evenings a go. We're going to give evenings a go because we thought maybe you guys are there in the evenings to call us and to get more involved rather than the mornings. So we're going to give that a bit of a trial. We're doing that from next week, Isaac, yeah? Yep. So 7 o'clock at night? 7 at night, yeah. 7 at night from next Monday. So I'll remind you again during the week as well. But 7 o'clock from next Monday, we'll have a show lined up for you and throughout the week as well. So it'll be Monday through Thursday. Won't do Friday. We'll do something on Friday. Willie will come up with an idea, but we don't know what it is. That's us. This will be available as a podcast on Rover shortly and wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for your feedback and your support. I'm Duncan at rover.nz to my team. Isaac, Forrester, Maddie, Serena, Willie. Thanks, guys. We'll do it again tomorrow. Remember, life's no dress rehearsal. This is it. We live in one of the best places on earth, so get out and enjoy it. Take care, folks. Thanks for watching.
That was Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief Live. Missed something on the live stream? Text Duncan to 3598 to listen back on the podcast. Want to get in touch? Call 0800 863 293.